joined by Pete Lange, who is our Director of Sales in the Milwaukee division.
Hi, Aaron. Hello, everybody. We are safer at home. This is Tim OBrien Homes, COVID-19 version. Myself and our model home at Lake Country Village in Summit, Oconomowoc.
Perfect. So today we are just going to go over some frequently asked questions about home building and new construction. So we'll just jump right in. So cool. Pete, a common question we get is, why should I spend more money for new? Can you kind of walk us through some of the benefits of buying new versus an existing home?
Absolutely, Aaron. It's an awesome question, and it's no secret when people are out there shopping, they're like, well, gosh, I love the idea of new, but yeah, new houses just cost more. There's just, why is that? Well, right. What we like to talk about and educate about as much as possible is total cost of ownership. And a lot of people look at a home like we look at anything else, this mask or my laptop or car, as sort of a single point transaction. Like, I pay this much for the thing and I get the thing. The fact of the matter is, though, you live in a home. The home has long-term operating and maintenance costs. It's no secret. Every home requires ongoing input from the people that live there. Some of it's home improvement that we do, projects on the weekend. Some of it's less glamorous, taxes, insurance, utilities, maintenance. Home improvement's a little different than maintenance. So all of those things factor into total cost. It's also not a single point transaction. Everybody pays for a home. Most people pay for a home with a monthly payment. Most people don't buy their home all in one big chunk, like if I bought this mask for my laptop. So we have to look at the long-term cost of ownership. And one strong reason to go new is maintenance is at its minimum on a new home. New homes, everything's new. Your water heater's new, your furnace is new, your roof is new, your window's new. Replacement is not a fact in somebody's life for many, many years down the road, typically in a new construction home. The other thing is the products in the home are the newest. We at Tim OBrien Homes specifically choose products that are known to have long-term service life and long-term durability, so that replacement time is as far in the future as possible. So I might spend a little more upfront to get a new home. I'm going to spend less over the near term, at least, on maintaining, replacing, adding dollars into fixing that home. New homes come with a warranty. The other big expense that's monthly for everybody is utilities, heating and cooling costs. In Wisconsin, we tend to spend plenty on both. New homes, in particular Tim OBrien Homes, are designed, tested, and built to be really, really energy efficient, to be at least 25 to 30% better than what building code would require of energy efficiency. That translates to lower monthly dollars for heating and cooling, but even more importantly, it transfers into greater comfort. I can tell you right now, sitting in our Mulberry and Lake Country Village, our homes feel good. The air quality is good, they're healthy, they're heated and cooled more evenly, they're more comfortable to live in. All of these are reasons why spending a little more now could actually be a better investment and be a better total value and lead to a lower total cost of ownership month by month.
Great. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So after someone has kind of thought over between existing homes and new construction, and they've decided that new construction is the way they want to go, how do they get started?
Well, right now, the internet is more powerful than ever before, but you can search for new homes on the web. All of the builders in our marketplace have web presences. All of them are doing a lot like what we're doing, Aaron. A lot of them are working virtually right now with customers. So we're still here. We're not sending the same invitation to come on out on the weekend and walk through our model. You'll have such a good time. We're sending the invitation. Let's do this virtually. I'll take you through the model online if you want to. We're happy to do that. Charlie Tyndall is here full time. Charlie's actually in the field meeting with one of our customers right now. So we are still conducting business. But do some research on the internet, get in contact with the home builder. Aaron, your role is probably the most important one in our company right now in terms of home buying public's experience. Your first contact with a builder might be filling out a form or clicking a box that says, I want some more information. And Aaron, you're right back to our customers with the information they seek, working to get them connected with a new home sales pro. So that's typically a person's first entry into a communication and into a relationship with a home builder. How you get started, pay attention to how that goes. Get connected with a new home sales professional, pay attention to how that goes. Obviously, you got to love the builder's product. All the builders in our marketplace offer beautiful, beautiful product. That's sort of the table stakes. We got to build a really nice looking home that kind of looks like what people see and like on Pinterest. We have to. But it's a big investment. Talked in the last section about how expensive it is. You're going to spend, a lot of people say, I'm going to spend my life savings. I'm going to spend $500,000 on it. It's a big investment. And to do that right, it requires a relationship with the builder. Again, it's not just come to the counter, give us your $500,000 and we'll hand a house over the other side. It's not. It's an ongoing process. It's a collaborative, creative process where we're making something where nothing existed before. And the relationship you have with the folks and the team that are going to carry that out is of utmost importance. So as you're getting started, you're shopping, you're evaluating, who do I want to do this with? Pay attention to what that relationship looks like in the beginning and how you can imagine it playing it out throughout the build. Super, super important thing to consider.
And more kind of on, you mentioned we have a lot of builders in the area and there's a lot of different kinds of builders. When choosing a builder, what are some good questions to ask to kind of make sure that that's the right builder for you?
Sure. We always talk about sort of three P's. There's the product, there's the process, and then there's the people. And I think you want to ask questions about all of them. Not every builder offers the same floor plan. So that's certainly what attracts people to a builder at the beginning is like, I just fall in love with that model. I just fall in love with that floor plan, et cetera. So that could be an early decision factor. What level and what degree to which that builder can personalize the home. Many of us have sort of menu-driven systems where we have large numbers of options and large numbers of way to personalize, but you're working from a menu. Many of us have, hey folks, sky's the limit, sketch it on a napkin, we'll make it happen. There's a whole spectrum in between. All of those things are going to contribute to different ability to price a home easily, different ability to predict what the final price might be. So you have to ask yourself, what's my most important feature? Is my most important feature being able to sketch it on a napkin and then invite people over and say, I created this, or do I have other priorities? So how does the product go together? What's that look like? And then again, the process. So once I pick a floor plan, choose the options, choose the home site, what happens next? Builders should have a process for every step of the way. I always tell people when I talk about this stuff, Tim OBrien Homes doesn't actually build anything. Aaron, I've never seen with a hammer in hand. I won't be out there with a saw or a nail gun this weekend. Nobody that works for us does any of that work. We coordinate and orchestrate it. We hire 50 subcontractors to build your family's new home. There better be a process for what our folks are doing to organize, orchestrate, and line up the next player in line. So those are important questions. And then, so that's product, process, and then people. I think you can make up your mind, Aaron. When I first met you, and I've talked to you online, you make up your mind pretty quickly about the folks that work for an organization. What's their level of commitment? What's their level of passion? So pay attention to that as well. It's a long-term relationship. You're going to go from paper to move-in, and you're going to be with a group of people at a home builder for a period of time. You have to really feel great about that relationship, even after you move in.
Right.
Warranty experience, you're going to have an occupancy experience. You're going to get asked questions. How did it all go? So the people that are going to take you through that process are an important factor in the consideration of which builder to go with. So let's get the 3 Ps covered. you're good to go.
Cool. So a little bit more on the process now. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of people have driven around and seen builder signs within communities. What the difference between building on a lot that, let's say, I already owned or I saw listed on a site like realtor.com versus building in a Tim OBrien Homes community? How does that look differently?
Okay, awesome question. Yeah, and real high level, when people talk about building a home, there's lots of different ways to do it. I can sort of understand a vacant piece of land. I can find it online, I can find one on realtor.com, and then it comes with a price tag. I buy that lot, I get title, I get a deed for that lot, I become the owner. I can talk to builders about base pricing plus options and upgrades, and we call that sort of sticks and bricks price. So what's the cost of the construction that's going to go in place? There's this third category that's neither house nor land, which is necessary to connect one to the other. That's site improvements. And building, the big difference at Tim OBrien Homes and for many other builders, the big difference between building on one of our packages in one of our communities and building on your lot or a lot from realtor.com, et cetera, is that home site improvements. It's things like building permits, impact fees, excavation, dirt hauling, either hauling in or hauling out, erosion control, gravel. One of the most fashionable items we include in a new home is crushed, but it's necessary to get. A lot of the times, and in our case too, when we're building on your lot, those items are allowances. We will come up with a budget for what we believe and we've analyzed and estimated are going to be the cost to do those items, but they go into the contract as allowances. What the customer will pay is the actual invoice cost, typically plus a builder's markup for managing the work. And they're sort of floating prices. They're what's responsible for a lot of the public will tell you, oh my God, building's a nightmare. Don't ever do it. Because they can result in surprise extra cost. Oh my gosh, we had to truck away 10 more loads of dirt than we originally thought. We needed 5 more loads of gravel than we originally thought. You know what? The permit for your sewer was different than we first thought. Those are all sort of adjustable prices. Customers don't like surprises. Typically, their financing is already closed and in place before building starts. So when there are extras that come up in the process, they can't just go to the bank and say, you know, can you increase my tab? No, the tab is tab. Customers typically have to come up with those things out of pocket. We work hard to make sure there aren't surprises. I'm going to contrast that now, Aaron, with what it's like to build on a Tim OBrien home and lot package in one of our communities. That discussion doesn't get held. The base price of our home includes that entire menu of home site improvements in the base price. We don't discuss it. If there's an extra load of dirt, an extra load of gravel, sewer permit goes up, et cetera, our customer doesn't hear about it. The customer's price is fixed from the time they go to contract until the time we're completed. So big advantage. We're able to do that through our awesome partnership with Newman Developments, Inc. We have a better handle and a better idea on what those costs are going to be. And we will still take some risk in doing it, but we include that entire menu of home site improvements right in the base price of the home. A lot of peace of mind for the customer.
Great. Yeah, I think it's nice that customers do have an option to build on their own lot or communities, but it's good to know kind of what that difference is. So obviously, a lot of people like the idea of new construction like we talked about, but some might not have time to go through the whole build process or just don't have the desire to. So what is an option that they can do to get themselves in new construction without having to go through that whole process, and kind of how does that look differently compared to building?
Sure thing, Aaron. Yeah, we do take on a measured number of ready homes. Builder talk, it's a spec house. Many people have probably heard that term before. It doesn't sound super fashionable. Spec is short for speculative. It's when a builder has control of a home site or buys a lot on his own and decides to start a home with no buyer attached to it, chooses the floor plan, chooses the options and upgrades, chooses the colors, gets the home started in the belief, in the speculation that somebody's going to come along who doesn't have the time to build or who doesn't necessarily see value in the process of choosing all those things themselves. Like I'll kind of take what the builder chose and we'll go that way. So we do always have on hand a menu of ready homes. Helps us in a lot of ways, helps us service buyers. It also helps us with living examples of some of the floor plans that we offer. So if a customer is interested in a plan on the web and says, well, you don't have a model of that one, may I tour one? We might have one under construction.
Gotcha. Cool. So then after, let's say a customer goes on our website, they're kind of looking through our floor plans, they find one that they really like. Is there a way they can personalize that specific plan to fit their family's needs rather than just what they're seeing in the photo or on the floor plan?
Absolutely. And I talked a lot about how we work on kind of a menu system. So even on our website, when you get into the floor plans, you'll see there are small cutaway options for different ways to configure the floor plan. Within that, within our menu, and this is something we do best in person, or today we're doing on Zoom quite a bit with our customers, we have a vast menu of ways to reconfigure square footage, add things like box windows and bays, add features to the exterior of the home, multiple different layouts for the way a master bathroom might look, for example. So again, value in choosing to build from that paper process and have a home constructed specifically for your family is the opportunity to make all of those choices.
So obviously I know a big topic for most people when they're starting out is price. So how can someone figure out, exactly what they can afford, and what does that process look like figuring out what their dream home is going to cost them?
Sure thing. Well, that's two things really. So what can I afford versus what is my home going to cost? We strongly recommend once somebody's determined there's a motivation to move in their life, and we don't turn non-buyers into buyers. People have to have a reason that they're going to move. It's either my family's growing and my home is too small, my family's shrinking, kids are moving out and my home is too big. Some life situation really causes a dominant move motive. A lot of people do it because they love new, but there's got to be some other motivator there. Once they've made that decision, I think figuring out what I can afford is an important next step, along with visiting a builder, shopping for a home. But our lender partners, we have several lender partners that we work with, do a great job of, even over the phone preliminarily, let me learn some things about your current situation. What are your current assets? What do you currently own? What are your current obligations? How much do you owe on what you own? What's your current income situation? What's savings like? A few questions. One of our lender partners can help determine sort of purchase target for a customer. Like, based on what you told me, I'm going to say you could go X50 on your home purchase. That's really good information to have, although nobody buys a house for X50. Again, very few people write a check for the purchase of the home once it's completed. Most people have a monthly payment. So it's important, again, to understand, what does this look like in my family's monthly? Knowing that, working with a builder, again, it's pretty easy to say base price of home, price of lot, price of site improvements, if it's included or not. And then the fun part is options and upgrades. How are we going to change the space? How are we going to personalize it? We include granite countertops, but we also offer quartz. We have beautiful standard cabinets, included cabinets, but we offer several variations and upgrades: flooring, faucets, lighting, et cetera, et cetera. So establishing a budget for making those personal choices, it's pretty easy for us, in kind of a point and click scenario, to work with our customers and say, okay, your purchase target's here, let's go. Base price, structural options, which tend to be the more costly ones, personal options, which tend to be the least costly ones. Let's get something within your target price range.
Great. And then I know you briefly touched on warranties a couple different times. So after someone, let's say they've decided they want to go with Tim OBrien Homes, what types of warranties would be offered to those homeowners?
Yeah, really important. So a new home is a complex system of people and process. So believing that the builder has a process for construction and quality control is obviously really, really important. Again, believing in the people that are going to supervise that construction out in the field is really, really important. And then understanding, well, what if something happens after I move in? Well, what's your approach? And the approaches can range from, well, you got my phone number. You got any problems? Just give me a call. To, we have a written warranty which covers various aspects of the home for various periods of time against various sorts of conditions. So written warranties tend to be the most powerful. We have really sort of a 3-tiered warranty. For the first year after a customer moves into their home, it's bumper to bumper. We say materials and workmanship are covered 100% against defects in materials and workmanship. So if something fails because it's just a bad product made poorly, that's covered by our company, by Tim OBrien Homes. If something fails because it was put in improperly, put in sideways or upside down, that's the workmanship piece of that. So it's really bumper to bumper. We have a written warranty that talks about what is allowable and what is beyond the standard. The 2 years after the person moves into a new home covers mechanical systems. So not the faucet, but the water piping that carries the water to and from that faucet. Not the light fixture, but the concealed wiring that's within the structure that carries the electrical current. Not the registers or the furnace, but the ductwork that carries the air throughout the home. Those are all covered for 2. And then there's a 10-year structural warranty. And that basically says the building's going to stay still for 10 years. So written warranties, and then how do we exercise them? That's another question you can ask. Our warranty process starts actually before move-in, about a week prior to handing over the keys to the home or giving the customer possession of the home. We do about a 2 to 3 hour pre-move-in orientation. Home is clean and complete. It's not going to have furniture in it like this one does, but it's going to be clean, complete, ready to move into. We spend about 2 to 3 hours demonstrating and operating all the features of the home, looking at the cosmetic finishes. If there is something that's chipped, scratched, etc., we want to know about it that week before closing so that we can spend that week getting those issues corrected. We want our buyers to move in with a clean bill of health in their new home. Even then, we say, but we're not perfect. So we schedule a visit for 60 days later, because now somebody's going to sleep there every night. We don't sleep there. We don't brush there. It's quite possible somebody finds out after 3 weeks, there's one cabinet drawer that just doesn't open the same as all the others. We acknowledge the fact that customers are going to notice those things. They say, we're coming back. We want to hear from you in 30 days, and we want to see you in 60. Today in COVID-19, we are not seeing our customers in person, but we're still having those interactions. Like, we know you're going to find stuff. We're not afraid of it. We're not hiding from it. Here's the blank form you can use to tell us about it. We do the same thing at 11 months because, again, the bumper-to-bumper warranty is for 1 year. So we tell them, hey, 11 months, you're getting close. So here, again, is a blank list. Here is a web portal you can log on to and a place that you can report the issues or questions that you have in time for the completion of that 1 year warranty. So that's how we handle it, not in a reactive way, but in a proactive way to say, we know, we just put 60,000 pieces and parts together in 6 months with men using their hands. Things are going to need some attention. We're not afraid of it. We're upfront about the fact that, yeah, we'll come back. We'll expect to come back. We'll expect to see it. The best thing we could hear is after a year, somebody says, gosh, there was nothing. But we're more realistic. We know that with 60,000 pieces going together in 6 months, probably going to be something. So we're open.
Cool. Yeah, I think the warranties it's a really nice piece of knowing going into it what kind of warranties are going to be offered after you move in. And lastly, Pete, why Tim OBrien Homes? Why should someone choose Tim OBrien Homes?
Well, because of everything I just got done saying, and because of you, and because of Tim, and because of our sales team, and because of our construction team, and because of our warranty team, there's a few different reasons why I choose Tim OBrien Homes. Number one, and I'll go back to the 3 Ps, Aaron. It's the people, the process, and the product. Our product is outstanding. I don't pretend that there's not another builder that can give you a beautiful kitchen like this.
Rachel, I expect to see you out here this weekend. We don't pretend that nobody else can do things as beautifully as we do, but we do a lot of things behind the walls that have to do with energy efficiency, comfort, health, and safety. It's a big topic. We like to think we've raised the bar on that in this marketplace, but our homes really do live better. The other factor that makes that so important is space in the right place. We hear it again and again and again and again. People go in and go, there's no waste of space. Might seem a risk, but we tend not to have the wow spaces in our home. Like 15 years ago, we all had 2-story foyers. And what we found by paying attention to our customers is, the first weekend, my parents were helping us move in, and my father-in-law goes, who changes those light bulbs up? You're paying to heat all that, and you can't even live there. You can't do anything with that. Tim took a lot of risk in saying, I'm going to put space in the right place. I'm going to deliver value. If somebody can use it, I'm going to put it in the home. If all it does is impress the guests twice a year at Thanksgiving and Christmas, we might not spend the money or ask our customers to spend the money on that stuff. Whirlpool tubs are the same way. You weren't in business 15 years ago if your master suite didn't look like the Sybaris. But we would go on a 60-day visit, and we would see a big potted silk plant in the Whirlpool tub. We'd look at the customer and go, you don't use this much. And they'd go, yeah, the first weekend, by the time the tub was full, the water heater was empty. By the time the champagne was cold, the kids were crying like the fantasy ever came true. They paid extra for that, and they couldn't use it. So value is a chief reason to choose Tim OBrien Homes. If you want a Whirlpool tub, we have them, but they're not standard to our homes. What's included in our homes is space in the right place and features that deliver value every day. That's why we focus more on our rear foyer than our front foyer, because that's where you go in every day out of your attached garage. So space in the right place, style and design, super reason to choose Tim OBrien Homes, energy efficiency and comfort, and then our team. Honestly, like in another question in this call, Aaron, a customer who's going to choose to do this, choose to trust us with their family's $500,000, right? Mm-hmm. Most expensive thing you'll ever buy. It's the most personal thing you'll ever buy. It's the most emotional thing you'll ever do for most people.
Right.
If they're going to trust us with all of that stuff, they have to feel good about the people that are on our team, that we all get what they're going through. We all get and respect and appreciate the level of trust that they've put with us to do it, and that we're there every step of the way. So we really have built a company and a team and a culture that takes our customers through the process in that way. We're proud of it, and that's why you should choose us.
Great. Thanks, Pete. Well, do you feel like there's anything else that we haven't covered that future homeowners need to know right away?
I don't think so. A note about COVID, there's a lot of uncertainty right now.
Right.
We do know that this is going to end. We've done a ton of learning and a ton of adapting to things like we're doing right now, to being able to continue these sorts of conversations virtually with our customers. Again, if there's a real life reason why somebody needs a new home, that doesn't get put on hold because of COVID-19. And so we want to let people know we're here, we're active, we're ready, we're built, we're an essential industry, mercifully. So our trades are out building right now, building our homes. If you're ready, we're ready. If you're not ready, we get it. We still want to stay in touch with you. We still want to deliver value every single day. We're open for business, and we're here.
Awesome. Well, guys, if you have any additional questions or would like any more information, please visit timobrienhomes.com, or you can call 262-751-6274. Thanks so much for joining me today, Pete.
Thank you, Aaron.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody.